welcome to SNN, Sageville News Network. I'm Anna.
And I'm Morgan. Our top story for January is the spelling bee. Sageville had its own spelling bee in December.
The top 3 students advanced to the regional spelling bee on January 6th and did a great job. Here's what happened at Sageville.
Okay, so our spelling bee has just wrapped up here at Sageville, and in 3rd place was Caitlin, 2nd place Lydia, 1st place Lauren. So tell me how you feel about your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place win in today's spelling bee.
I'm excited.
Are you saying you're E-X-C-I-T-E-D?
Yes.
How did you practice for the spelling bee? How did you study for it?
Well, I wrote them down 2 times each, so that would be 900 words. And then my mom and family members would say them to me and I would spell them.
I was surprised because I didn't think I would win.
You were S-U-R-P-R-I-S-E-D?
Yes.
All right, congratulations, ladies.
Sageville's Lego League went to the state competition and did a great job. Mrs. Ramsack and Miss Hatfield 4th graders are working on stream tables.
What are stream tables?
Well, watch this and you'll know.
One more. Is it even going? Oh, there we go. Start.
Here, you go out. It's making a dance. Yeah.
Nearly done to the hole yet.
It looks like it's coming. It's coming. More water. That's good. This is so amazing. Awesome.
Let's wait for it.
I think the water was actually heavy that it pushed its way down. Yeah. And now the water's just big. It's going down really fast. It's making a den. It's making like a valley. Oh yeah, it does make that. Look at that. It's like probably not too much.
It's going really
Look
fast.
at the clay under there. Look how
It's just getting there. It's getting close. It's getting close.
it went like this, and now it's going down
like that, and then it went like that.
Yeah,
Now it's going back over here.
Look at that one. That one's still going.
Today we're doing a flood tray and then a standard tray, and the flood tray had a bigger hole in the cup so more water and water pressure would go through, and then the standard one was just regular, smaller hole.
Pushes the earth material out of the way. That's called erosion. This down here, where all of those earth materials ended up, that's deposition. They are deposited in that area. This is a great job.
Erosion is like when earth materials move to another place from a place to another, and in the flood, so we have 20 centimeters of sand and clay, and it all washes out, and it gets to a hole, and then the sand and water and clay is like a mixture then, By the time it pours in, and then it goes in the hole, and it drops into the basin, and then you can see like what's all happened. And then there's like waterways that you can see the water, and you can sometimes see the position of where the water ends up.
Fifth graders created dioramas about different jobs during colonial America times.
And they made a short video.
Hello, our names are Alec.
And Brody. We are silversmiths from the colonial times.
Here's some information. We used a hammer to shape the silver.
Hi, I'm Courtney. And I'm Anna. And we're the Weavers. Boys usually wore a white shirt with a vest or a coat and breechers, also known as pants. Girls usually wore a long dress that their family made so they did not have to pay for it.
Foodies is like a grocery store mixed with a restaurant. They would make the goods that people would pay to eat them.
We are the brick makers. This is the process how to make bricks.
First, they stomp out the clay.
Then mold the bricks and dry it in the kiln for 6 days and 6 nights.
Did you know that in many languages, the word tailoring means the art of cutting?
No, I didn't.
We used a tape measure to measure the individual bodies, and that would determine how the dress or suit was worn.
Mrs. Frommel's first graders studied measurement in feet. Big feet.
They also had a special visitor to help them. Check it out.
Here at Sageville in first grade, we've been doing lots of measuring, and we invited a special Sageville friend to come in and do some measuring to see how many feet it takes from the corner of our cart all the way to our doorway, and how different that is compared to the students' feet and my feet.
Do you remember what we measured that day?
Yeah.
What did we measure?
Cart to door.
From the cart to the door. So Sassy, we need you to start right here at the edge of the cart and measure. And who can come up and show them how we have to measure? Sam. Can you show them? Oh, so we have to put our toes and our heels together, right? We don't want to leave any spaces. Go ahead and show them. Go ahead. Walk towards the door, all the way to the door like that. In a straight line. Perfect. Thank you, Sam. All right, you ready, Sassy?
See if you can do
Now, boys and girls, do you think it's going to take more of his feet or less of his feet than ours? Less of his feet than ours. Probably. Let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 of Sassy's feet it took to the door. Who remembers how many of our feet it took?
29.
I think it was 29. So that's a big difference, right? Why did it take more of ours and less of Sassy's?
He has bigger feet.
He does. He has bigger feet and they take up more what? More space, right? They take up more space.
Sassy has big feet.
Finally, kindergartners made snowmen in their classroom.
Wow, I bet that was a mess.
Nope, here's why. That's all for this month. Thanks for watching. Don't miss the next episode of Make the Grade coming up next. We'll see you on February. Until then, we hope your news is good news.
It's time for Make the Grade! Featuring your hostess, Destiny Fairchild. And now please welcome Destiny Fairchild.
Hello guys, I'm Destiny Fairchild. Welcome to Make the Grade. Today our guest teacher is the fabulous 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Atencio. Please welcome her. Mrs. Atencio, are you ready for Make the Grade?
Well, I've been studying and preparing for weeks. In fact, I spent my entire holiday break getting ready for today's show.
Your entire holiday break? Studying?
Of course. I locked myself in my classroom and just studied my 5th grade teacher manual. Studied.
But, Mrs. Atencio, you're not competing against a 5th grader. You're competing against a 2nd grader. We're going to ask 2nd grade questions.
What?
Let's welcome your 2nd grade competitor, Ella.
I feel bad for her. She spent her whole holiday break studying. I think we should do 5th grade questions.
Oh my, are you sure, Ella? 5th grade questions might be rather difficult.
I can handle it.
All right, question 1. In math, it's important to know the order of operations. With this in mind, what is the value of x in this equation? 2 plus 3 times 7 minus 1 equals x.
Well, 2 plus 3 is 5, and I know how to count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So 5 times 7 is 35. But then I have to take off the 1, so x equals 34.
Her counting by 5s is impressive, but she doesn't quite understand how to follow order of operations. Multiplication needs to be done first, then addition, and lastly subtraction. So 3 times 7 is 21, add 2, that makes 23, then take away 1, x equals 22.
Point to Mrs. Atencio! Next question. What part of speech is log? Let me use it in
I know this one. We do a lot of journaling in 5th grade. Also, I ask students to log in their thinking during math class. So, log is a verb.
Maybe you should have waited for the entire question. Log is a multiple meaning word. I'll use it in a sentence. Daniel Boone cut the log into pieces to build his cabin.
In that sentence, log is a noun. Nouns can be a person, place, thing, or idea. A log is a thing.
Point to Ella! Next question. What is Abraham Lincoln most famous for?
He's the person on the penny.
That is true, but not what he is most famous for. I almost hate to say this, but that's too bad for you!
In anticipation of President's Day in February, we have started our research on the U.S. presidents. Lincoln's famous Gettysburg Address was given to declare the North had won the Civil War and that our country stood for freedom and equality for all. He is most famous for being the president to abolish or end slavery.
Another point to Mrs. Atencio. She leads the planets in our solar system in the correct order.
I can do that. I've been using a mnemonic device since I was a little girl.
Did they have those back then?
Mnemonic devices?
No, planets?
As I was saying, my very elderly mother just sat on Uncle Ned's parrot. I take the first letter for every word and use it to remind me of the planets. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto.
Not quite. Let's give Ella a turn.
Mrs. Atencio, things have changed since you were a kid. Scientists added 4 other planets to the list.
Looks like I need to revise my lesson plan.
Correct! Point to Ella! We are tied 2-2! Oh, I'm afraid we are out of time. And we didn't finish our questions. I guess we'll have to wait till February to see how this turns out. That's too bad for you. Goodbye!